Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here, and welcome to another video. And in this video, we're going to explore potential future feuds for the Wyatt-sicks. Of course, the Wyatt-sicks currently in a feud with The Miz. Well, also Final Testament as well, and prior to that, of course, they were in a feud with Chad Gable. In that debut massacre, they nearly killed poor old Chad Gable, but it was safe to say that that feud started to cool down a little bit, and the conclusion of that feud wasn't actually that great. But I'm far more hopeful, far more optimistic when it comes to the current Wyatt-sicks Miz feud, mainly because there's so much history. Now, it certainly feels at the moment that the Wyatt-sicks' memo is go after people that have recently turned heel, specifically people that have betrayed family members or close friends. And there is so much history when it comes to The Miz and Bo Dallas, The Miz and Bray Wyatt, that it would be rude not to explore it, wouldn't it? I mean, there's so much history with the OG Wyatt family and The Miz. Of course, they had a feud literally over a decade ago. Of course, Bo Dallas was part of the Miztourage, the Miz's faction. He had loads of promises for Bo Dallas and never fulfilled those. So Bo Dallas ain't happy about things, and Uncle Howdy is going to go on an absolute rampage when it comes to The Miz. I mean, he already has, already holding him hostage and all of that. So this is just a start when it comes to that. And of course, The Miz was in a feud around 2019 with, of course, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Now, with all that being said, a common question comes up a lot when it comes to the Wyatt-sicks. How are you going to book them moving forward? Who are they going to feud with? And the list is absolutely endless. But I've gone for a few picks that I honestly think that could work, and I honestly think would be captivating on so many levels creatively. And my first round pick is none other than Finn Balor. It just makes sense. And I know he's not recently turned in regards to the heel side, but he did betray Damian Priest, what he deemed a family member, as part of the original Judgment Day. So it makes a lot of sense. And of course, there is so much history with Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. Of course, the demon version of Finn Balor defeated Bray Wyatt, and then of course the Fiend, upon his in-ring debut, absolutely destroyed Finn Balor, the regular version of Finn Balor. So at the moment, I suppose you could look at it as a mini-series. Finn Balor won, the Wyatts won, because of course the Fiend defeated Finn Balor. So what about a third match? But this time, of course, Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, taking the lead role here and targeting Finn Balor. What about Demon Finn Balor versus Uncle Howdy? Surely that would cook. Surely that would be fire. There are so many creative layers that they could explore, and it would give Finn Balor a little bit more of a spotlight, because it certainly feels that as part of this new Judgment Day that Finn Balor has lost a bit of, I don't know, spark, I suppose I'm going to say. He just seems like he's going through the motions, and a feud with the Wyatt-sicks could bring out the most vicious version of Demon Finn Balor. That's a feud, personally, I would love to see. Now, if we look at the whole Wyatt-sicks memo and who they specifically target, I suppose you couldn't write off Dominic Mysterio. He fits the bill, doesn't he? But I certainly feel that would be more of a sort of comical angle. I don't think we could really take it that seriously. Now, my next pick, I know at the moment he's a face, but as of late, and certainly in his feud with Bronson Reed, we've seen a less sort of jovial side of Seth Rollins, a more serious, more on a mission version of Seth Rollins. And we know there's history with Seth Rollins and, of course, Bray Wyatt and his Fiend persona. And you can bet your bottom dollar that on a personal level, surely Seth Rollins would want to work with the Wyatt-sicks to honour the legacy of Bray Wyatt. Seth was close to Bray. Bray was an inspiration to Seth. So it makes sense for Seth Rollins to rewrite a lot of wrongs creatively, because I think it's fair to say that the whole Seth Rollins Fiend feud was nowhere near as good as it could have been. If Vince McMahon hadn't got his hands on that feud and we hadn't had the ludicrous Hell in a Cell match of 2019, then I think the reviews would have been a little bit more favourable in regards to Seth Rollins and The Fiend. You can picture it, can't you? Uncle Howdy tormenting Seth Rollins, showing these flashback images to the moment where, of course, Seth Rollins turned on his brothers in the Shield, making him pay for that. And then assuming at this point, if they were to feud, Seth Rollins would be a heel, it again fits the Wyatt-sicks memo, I suppose. Yes, creatively, plan A wasn't the best in that feud between The Fiend and Seth Rollins, but there's always a plan B. How about Seth Rollins and Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, creating some magic? Now, another feud that's a little bit out there, but hear me out. How about a feud with Bo Dallas and CM Punk? It could work. There is history. Do not forget the whole Husky Harris Nexus angle when, of course, CM Punk was the leader of the new Nexus. They assaulted Husky Harris, humiliated Husky Harris. And if Bo Dallas is fully embracing Uncle Howdy, embracing the spirit of Bray, following the words of the Red, any wrongs that have been created in the past can be rewritten via Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy. My life for you. Anyone that's hurt Bray in the past has hurt Bo Dallas because he's Uncle Howdy. He is everything. I like it. I certainly feel they could explore that. And surely, inevitably, in terms of creative, CM Punk is going to turn heel at some point. Show his true colours and embrace his true self. And you can see Uncle Howdy staring him in the eyes and muttering the words, "There you are." Now, talking of creative, what about current creative in the storyline angle between the New Day? Xavier Woods' teased heel turn? If he were to turn heel, surely he's going to. Again, it fits the memo of the Wyatt-sicks with a member turning on a literal family member. And let's not forget the history with the Wyatt family in the New Day. They had some killer feuds along the way, and this is very, very family linked. For Xavier Woods to stab his literal brother in kayfabe, it seems like. I mean, come on. Big E, Xavier, and Kofi are literal brothers on screen. To break that bond, to turn on one of your brothers like that, if it were to happen, Uncle Howdy ain't going to be happy about that at all. And cue a feud between Xavier Woods and the Wyatt-sicks. Now, there's one man, of course, that we cannot forget, and he is over on SmackDown at the moment, but of course, there's obvious history with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Throwbacks to the Wyatt family, when Randy temporarily, albeit, joined the Wyatt family to then turn on Bray Wyatt. Of course, feuds with The Fiend, WrestleMania 37, and that whole angle still hasn't been resolved, by the way. Links to Alexa Bliss, who we'll come on to in a moment. Surely Randy Orton, down the line, would be a surefire candidate for a feud with the Wyatt-sicks. It would make sense. There is just so many layers to explore creatively. Overall, it just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Surely, and only when the time is right, Randy Orton will turn heel. Whether this is turning on Cody remains to be seen. Throwbacks to 2009 Randy Orton, when he was punting the skull of Vince McMahon, kissing Stephanie McMahon while she's handcuffed. One of the most viewed WWE YouTube videos of all time. Randy Orton was an absolute menace as a heel. Surely he's going to turn in time, as I said earlier, when the time is right, and it could be magic, a feud with the Wyatt-sicks. There's so much history with WrestleMania 37, that whole Alexa angle. There's so much to be explored. And talking about Alexa Bliss, we can't rule her out. You know what my opinions are. I truly believe that she's going to be the sixth member, that she's always planned to be the sixth member, that Bray Wyatt would have wanted that would have been his wish. And if that's the case, she can team with Nikki, go after Bianca and Jade, for then Bianca to turn heel, for then an incentive for the Wyatt-sicks if they're following their memo to target specifically Bianca Belair in a heel role, maybe, if she turns on Jade, or the other way around. There's history with, of course, Alexa and Bianca, and we cannot rule out Dakota Kai. We cannot. She is a turncoat. She turns on people left, right, and centre. Maybe she turns on Damage Control in Kyrie and Io. That could be a storyline that could be explored. We've seen, of course, the logo pop up in the background in women's segments. That cannot be a coincidence. And also, we can't forget about Charlotte Flair. When she returns, potentially Alexa could go after Charlotte Flair for destroying the Lily doll. But it remains to be seen what the angle is with Alexa Bliss. We don't know yet whether she's going to be a member of the Wyatt Six. But you could probably bet that Bray Wyatt would have wanted Alexa Bliss to be part of this. And if we go by those piano chords again in Shatter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially Uncle Howdy, right? Then maybe it's 6 members plus Uncle Howdy, which really deep down is Bray. We could see Lily, Alexa's dark influence, the Lily doll, come to life. We've seen the other Firefly Funhouse characters brought to life, so why not Lily, hey? I know she wasn't part of all of that, but never say never. What do you think? What would you like to see? What feuds would you like to see the Wyatt Six in? Do you think it's going to happen? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you in the next one.